eating them.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Both of them.
And you gotta
I'm a man of culture. Okay.
you gotta take in the aroma and then you consume it. It's like wine, you know.
I only show my best on the Christian sim. Okay.
Hell yeah.
That's the way to commentate.
Do you see Connor number 42? That SOB. I can't believe he's on the track today.
Oh boy.
And see, how close are we to fast forward? I'm sorry to ask.
Yeah, 3
Perfect.
minutes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. SG30. You know that's on one of my T-shirts, right? I go to bars
We need
with that
those,
shirt on race week. It's fun. Where we at?
Alfonso's not driving a Beamer. That's new. Oh yeah, everyone's sweating.
Hey Josh, how much more
the valley
time?
where I harvest my grain. 3 minutes or 2.5 minutes, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
Hey fellas, how do I turn down the voices in Discord?
You
Yeah,
right-click,
go. Yeah.
right-click their name and manually slide them down.
Or just lower your output, your input volume or output volume in the settings, so that would drop everybody. So you can drop people individually, or you can just drop the entire level of Discord.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Axia. We are going to get started here very shortly as we get going for the race at Suzuka. I am so happy to have all of you here as we get going here. We're going to just try to jump through all my little windows so I can get better control of everything as we get going here. As we see our championship leader, Aiden Hasbrock, he is heading out right now. We're going to keep an eye on him as he's going around the racetrack. I just want to say a huge shout out to all the viewers and everybody participating and joining in with us. It is truly an honor to have you guys all here with us as well. Keep an eye on everything as we go through here. Let's see, we got Aiden Hasbrock. He is out. Let's take a look on the track. Number 84 is out there in the lead right now in qualifying session. That is going to be Mr. Ricky Scott coming down here as he's coming up to this hairpin at Suzuka. As the track is, I don't know why in qualifying the track is still set to fast. It's set to the same time, but we'll just keep an eye on that as it goes through, as these drivers are going to be put through. Wolf saying hello, Exia. Wolf, how are you doing? How are you doing on the other side of the pond? Let us know how everything is going as we get through here, as we keep an eye on everything as we go through. Let's see, as we got Ricky Scott making his way up to the hairpin. It looks like Farmer, he would manage to drop himself into the podium last time, as the track is now starting to develop. We got fast, the temperatures are coming up, the viewers are coming in, and we are going to be getting going here in qualifying with 18 minutes left to go, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see what we can do here at Suzuka with GT Meister Racing. Let's see, we're going to watch Farmer as he's about to cross the line here shortly. Running a beautiful line around this bend here. Nice corner getting out. Really cloudy here at 11 a.m. at Suzuka as the drivers making their way through. Oh, you got an early meeting. Did you make sure you click the withdraw, sir? Here goes Farmer down into turn one. Beautiful line. You can see the front end starting to slide a little bit on him as he's trying to come through the corner here. Definitely looking really pacey through here as he's coming through the famous Suzuka S's. As he's working his way through in that Ferrari, trying to utilize all the track and getting the fast time here. As we also have a few new drivers here. Jay Vrooman is in here, as well as Alex Alfonso and Kate Brown, some of the newer drivers that has joined GT Meister Racing. Truly honored and happy to see them here as well. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on them. And ooh, he slides it really good as Aiden Hasbrock in that McLaren right behind Farmer. Looking like they're going toe-to-toe with the times, and Lane Zander behind him as well as they're going through the time. Lane Zander is actually up on his time. He's up 1/10. Let's take a look. Jay Vroom's up 1/10. Aiden Hasbrock's up 5/10 as he's right behind Farmer. So we'll definitely see the lap times as they come through here. Around the bend, up to the hairpin, looking good and looking strong. Down in the hairpin as all the drivers are now starting to slot themselves a way in. Kevin Torrance is not coming out. Jay Morrison's not coming out. Casey Bennett's sitting in there. K. Brown is still sitting in there. We've got everybody else working their way through here. Farmer's going to cross the line. He's going to set the provisional pole here as we have about 15 minutes and 50 seconds left to play, everybody. Let's see what he can do through the final chicane and up to the main straight. Beautiful run out as he goes. Let's see what he can do. Crosses the line. What does he set? 202.260. It does not look like Aiden Hasbrock set a time yet. It does not look like anybody else has set a time yet to compete against him. It's like everybody else invalidated their lap as they make their way through. Car 42. Let's take a look and see who we've got. The newer driver, let's see. Mathis Tuda is not on a fast lap. Ricky Scott is not set. Andrew Jaschke, 4/10 off the pace. Brian Douglas, 2.5 seconds off the. Tim Wilkins right behind him, 0.020 off the pace of Brian Douglas. And the Honda and the Bentley drivers both competing against each other. Mr. Stefan Buckley in the Audi. Huge shout out to him. Wolf, yep, I did withdraw. I think that this is my final one. I'm so excited for Suzuka. Don't worry, Wolf. Don't worry about the withdrawals. You just let me know. I'll help you out with all of that as we go through here. Welcome to the viewers that are checking out GT Meister Racing as we're watching Stefan Buckley make his way through the S's. He's off 3/10. He's got Tuda right behind him, the race winner at Monza yesterday's. Tim Wilkins is up 3/10 on his time. AJ Silva, he is in that Bentley. He is actually, okay. As we go through here, so we're going to jump along board the Bentley driver of AJ Silva as he is hauling as fast as he possibly can in that Bentley. He's got Tristan St. Louis following. Tim Wilkins is up 8/10. Same with Tristan St. Louis, and into the hairpin they go. That Bentley's picking up time. But we'll have to see what he can do here. We've got 13 minutes and 50 seconds left to play here in the qualifying session, and these drivers are hauling. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. They are moving and everything as they go through Spoon here, and they get onto this back straight here, which is beautiful as they approach 160R here, which in the GT3 cars, some of them, depending on your downforce level, you can flat that out. Some of them, you cannot flat that out. As we ride along board, let's see, AJ Silva is sitting 6th, Tristan St. Louis is sitting 10th. Tristan is up, looks to be, where'd you go? 3.9, now 4 seconds, 4.3. He's going to be the big mover. Here he is as he's getting onto the back straight. He's getting that big toe from the BMW. Where's it going to slot him up? Farmer's up to 2nd, who's 4/10 off the pace. Tristan St. Louis crosses the line. Does this bump him? It does. It puts him P3. Tuda into P1 with a 201.7. Farmer P2. Tristan St. Louis, he is 0.6. Andrew Jaschke, 0.9. Xander, 1.2 off the pace. AJ Silva. And then we've got Jay Ruman, newer driver, slots in 0.022 behind Andrew Jaschke in that BMW, who's another big mover. Snug Rhino, he looks super strong in Monza. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on what he can do. Here he is in the Porsche at Suzuka onto the back straight, making his way down the hill. What is he going to do as he crosses the line? He was up 2 seconds on his time. This should put him in the top 10. Crosses P8. Woo, we got Porsche, 8 and 9. We'll definitely have to keep it. See, as Matt Artem drops himself into P2. Matt Artem goes super wide. Looks like he's going to work on his lap times as well as he goes through. Josh Kimball in the ARC Lexus here, racing around. He's on the main straight. He was up 2 seconds on his time. Can he improve it and push it even more? He does. He slots himself into P8 as well as he works his way through into turn 1. Let's take a look and see as we have Aiden Hasbrock. He was leading qualifying session. He's up 3.1 seconds on his time. 3 seconds on his time. This should put him up to P2 as he gets up to the line. What's it going to do? Is it going to slot him to P2? It does not. He invalidated. He did a 202 flat, ladies and gentlemen. So 202 flat would have put him P2 in this group. 3/10 off the pace of Mathis Tuda, who has decided to take the challenge to him in this championship run here. As we jump over along, Peter David's doing a super wide line here in the hairpin. We see Stefan Buckley right behind him in that Audi. See, Buckley did not set a time yet, but Peter David is working through everything that he possibly can. As we go through, here he goes through Spoon, super wide, catches that curb, he bounces around. What a shame there on him. He's going to probably invalidate that lap. As we see Kevin Torrance, he is out in that Porsche. This is going to be his out lap, I presume. He has yet to set a time. This is his out lap, and then the next lap, it will be his flyer. Let's see. Jay Rubin slots himself P2. He is up 2/10. 2/10 would put him in the time of Mathis Tudis here in this battle here as we go through. Josh Kimball's now up 7/10. Josh Kimball 7/10. That would put him in that top 7 group. There as we go. See, let's take a look and see who else is on a run. Alejandro Martinez looking super strong. Very off the pace in that P19 spot in that Ferrari. But we'll definitely have to keep an eye on him as he's working his way through at Suzuka. The clouds are overhead. The track is not picking up. This is going to be an interesting one for the drivers as they work their way through. We have a yellow sector 1, the 912, which looks to be Kevin Torrance's Porsche, trying to work his way through Spoon there on that back end, trying to get a good lap time as we see Brian, number 42 of Brian Douglas. He's out on his out lap, but he has set a time here. He is P15. Alejandro Martinez is up 2/10, and he's working his way through onto this track. Is Matt Sorry, I apologize. Aiden Hasbrock has brought himself to Mathis Tuda, 0.035 in the P2 slot. So he's definitely taken the battle. He wasn't there for Monza, so he doesn't know the Tudis' pace. But he's there to showcase his performance overall, which is super good as we keep an eye out on everybody else. Keith Brown, number 721 in that McLaren. Where is he in that McLaren as he's going through? Looks like he's coming up to the final chicane as he works his way onto the main straight. As we see Alejandro Martinez utilizing all that curb of 160 yards. He goes through there. Here he comes. What can he do? Onto the main straight. Up 5/10 on his time. They'll reel him in close to P18. He's working everything that he possibly can. Let's take a look. Buckley is sitting in the pits. Ferrari driver did improve. He's still trying to reel in Peter David there. He's just trying to get to reel in those laps to help him out overall as we go through. Let's take a look. Kevin Brown. Brian Douglas is up 6. We'll ride along board Brian Douglas in the Bentley, the former McLaren driver of this season. He has switched over to the Bentley. Definitely have to keep an eye on how he performs here in this Bentley. He's been looking good. The track is still developing. We got to see how this develops and goes through and works up as the track starts to get its groove in. It's looking really nice. I mean, he's 8/10 up on his time, so he did a 3.2. So 8/10 would slot him into that P13, P14 spot right by Alfonso that's in that Mercedes, one of the newer drivers that has joined us from Apollo Racing Club. Huge shout out to those drivers joining us and being a part of this group here. Huge shout out to that league as well. 9/10 up on his time. Can he get a second? Because if he can get a second, he can get in that top 15 spot. See what he does. And across the line, P14. All right. 0.02. 2-2 off the pace of Alex Alfonso. So Brian Douglas trying to make things happen here. Let's take a look. We've got Farmer. He's up 3/10 on his time in that Ferrari, making his way around Spoon Corners as he works his way onto that back straight, trying to make something else happen for him as well. He's looked super racy. He has put in a lot of time. 3/10 would slot him into that top group as Roman slots himself P1 with a 2-minute 1.3 on the lap here as we have 6 minutes left to play. The track is fast, but it's still warm. Here he goes through the final chicane onto the main straight. We have yellow lights here in qualifying as they work their way downhill. See what he can do. 3/10. Does it help him? It does. Lots of P4 ahead of Matt Artem as he goes through dominant square. Jamie Morrison still has yet to set a time here. Kevin Tarrant still trying to find something. Looks like K. Brown is not going to try to set a time. Bruce Hopkins joined in, our number 25 guy. He's sitting in the pits. He's missing out on qualifying, but he's going to try to reel something in. Ricky Scott, I'm pretty sure his fan club is in the chat and watching. Ricky Scott definitely, cutting a lot of that corner there, trying to make that final chicane work for him. But he's up 1 point. He's up a second here. So this will boost him into that P14, P15 spot. Here he goes, trying to get that toe from that Porsche. And it boosts him, jumping Tim Wilkins in that P16. Huge shout out to him. Bruce Hopkins going to try to reel something in. And let's take a look at Andre Alex Alfonso in that Mercedes. Beautiful Sun Energy Mercedes. He's up 4/10 as well as he's going through the final chicane, working his way through. We have 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to play as we see how this well develops. Now 4/10, that's going to slot him into 109s, possibly 108s if he can get a little bit more than a tenth out of this as well. What does it put him? 1.8. That's good. Good there for him. Slotting, definitely showcasing strong performance, sitting there 0.03 off the pace of Josh Kimball in that Lexus. as we go through here. Let's take a look. Who else is up on their time? Looks like we have Mathis Tuda, the race winner from yesterday, last week at Monza. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. He is got the big toe from the BMW, but that BMW is also on a fast lap as well. So the drivers don't fully have to give up the position if they don't want to. This is where the drivers should be able to work and talk in the chat to help each other out as they go through. But he doesn't look like he's fully improving on his time. He's fallen back just a hair. But this possibly could help him out onto the main straight to get that little extra toe. And he does not improve, but Tristan St. Louis is 4/10 coming out of the final chicane onto the main straight, 4/10. 4/10 would slot him in that top 5, get him closer to Aiden Asbrock with that BMW. What does he do? Slots him into P5 ahead of Matt Artem. Definitely helping him out as well. And Lane Zander, our championship leader 2 seasons ago, was in the Merc. Now he's in the McLaren. He's trying to showcase his performance as he's racing through here at Suzuka with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. Here he comes around the hairpin, working his way up the hill. Let's ride along board in the cockpit and see how this is in the McLaren. Super nice in that McLaren going through that spoon, but Aiden Hasbrock is up 5/10 on his time as well as Lane Zander loses it. See where Aiden Hasbrock is, the number 2 driver. He is coming up to spoon on the back end, so we're going to be jumping along board with him. 5/10 will put Aiden Hasbrock on pole if he can hold it together. Lane Zander is not improved. He is actually off by 5/10 as he's about to cross the line. Here comes Aiden Hasbrock. 4/10 now as we speak. P3 working his way through. Around the bend. Here he comes. 6/10 now. This is looking like pole, ladies and gentlemen. Provisionally, 5/10. Championship leader slaps it and snaps it. He is P1, ladies and gentlemen, with Jay Vrew 3/10 off the pace, sitting P2. Let's take a look at this. Now we have Lane Zander. He's still up 2/10. Matt Artem's up 2/10 as well. So Matt Artem, a driver we haven't talked a whole lot about, the driver out of Pennsylvania, looking super racy in that Audi with a minute left to play. He's working his way through, trying to utilize all the grip he possibly can down into that bend as he's approaching the hairpin, working his way up the hill. Lane Zander ahead of him is up 6/10 on his time as these guys are trying to make something stick and make something work. Ricky Scott up to P17. Nice job to him. Snug Rhino up to P16. Brian Douglas sitting in that P15 spot. Josh Kimball looking super strong after a super strong pace at Monza. As Matt Artem is working his way through nice and tidy in that Audi. Bruce Hopkins sitting P21. Looks like he fell out a little bit there, but hopefully he can actually make something happen and reel it in even closer. See what we got. Matt Artem is 2/10. Lane Zander still 5/10. Andrew Jaschke's up 5/10. Here they go. The final remains. The drivers that are still on their hot laps will be able to finish it. They have 2 minutes and 54 seconds of wait time to go through. Here they go. Matt Artem, did he invalidate? He did not. He is still looking good. He's going to improve. This will help him, put him up a little bit higher in the order. He does. He jumps. He's up by Lane Zander. Let's take a look. Hasbrock is still faster. Andrew Jaschke's up 4/10 as he's coming up to the final corner. 160R. as he's coming up to the final chicane. Let's go, Ricky Scott. The Ricky Scott fan club is here. And what a huge shout out from his team. Your boys are sitting P17, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Jaschke still 3/10. This will slot him into the little bit higher in that top 10 spot as he's about to cross the line. What is he able to do? P8, that reels him in. Let's take a look now. Farmer's up 3/10 on his time. 3/10 will bring him into that P3 spot. That's going to help him boost his performance here in this race. Let's take a look here as he goes through. Tristan San Luis is also up a 10th, and he still has time. Tristan San Luis can slot himself into that P4 spot if he holds this, as we see Farmer coming around the bend. Tristan San Luis, number 11, he's coming up to that final chicane. Looks like Alfonso lost it there. Oh, or is he holding it? Tristan San Luis through the final chicane. Farmer crosses the line. P2, 2/10 off. Tristan San Luis does not look like he's improving as he's about to cross the line, ladies and gentlemen. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Aiden Hasbrock, P1 with a 2-minute, 1 second.117 to lock out pole position here at Suzuka, with Farmer sitting P2. Jave Rome sitting there P3. Mathis Tuda P4. Tristan San Luis P5. Lane Xander P6. Matt Artem P7. Andrew Jaschke P8. And Alfonso P9 with Casey Bennett P10. And for a huge shout out, we're definitely going to take a look, because I know Big BG Gaming wants to see his man, his idol, the person that he loves, and the reason why he comes here. Let's take a look at Ricky Scott as we go in here. We're going to jump out aboard here, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ricky Scott for his fan club of Knox Racing. Huge shout out to Ricky Scott and the viewers that he brings with us for the league. Thank you very much, good sir. We're going to take a long board. We're going to jump up to the P1 car here in a second. Take a look at his car as well. Let's see. Aiden Hasbrock. Here we go. We're going to jump up board. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your P1 finisher. P1 qualifying finisher. Aiden Hasbrock, with Farmer sitting there P2 in that Ferrari, with Jave Roman in P3, followed by Mathis Tuda P4. Then we have Tristan San Luis definitely reeling that one in into P5. Lane Xander, we'll see how he can be able to handle his performance here. He's sitting there P6. Matt Artem sitting there P7. Andrew Jaschke trying to revive his performance. He's sitting there P8. Alfonso, first showing, he's sitting there P9. Congratulations to him. Casey Bennett, where is Carbonado in the chat? Where is his son? As Casey Bennett slotting himself into P10. Josh Kimball looking super strong, slots himself into P11. Peter David, P12. And then we have Alan Zhu, the Porsche driver here. He is slotting himself into P13. AJ Silva bringing in respectfully the Bentley into P14. And a Bentley teammate of Brian Douglas, as we're bouncing around on the cars. P15, Snug Rhino in his Porsche, reeling it in on the 16. Ricky Scott, 17. Tim Wilkins over here in that P18 in that Honda, as we do not have Tom Cassiani. As we have Knoxdale's sharp car. I love the white diffuser. I'm going to judge you. I don't like the white diffuser, but I like the driver. That's what matters. As we have Alejandro Martinez bringing into P19. Kevin Tarrant's 20. Bruce Hopkins, 21. Dominant Square, 22. Jamie Morrison's 23. We've got Kay Brown. He's going to be sitting there back in that 24 spot with Stefan Buckley in P25, ladies and gentlemen. P25 as we jump aboard, as we wait for the drivers. We've got 10 seconds to go as we get ready for the rollout here. It's definitely going to be an interesting. Hasbrock didn't race Tuda in Monza, so there wasn't really much competition for Tuda other than Artem taking the challenge in the fight. So that'll be an interesting one as the drivers roll out and everything else like that. I'm going to take a small breather while I wait for the drivers to make their way around the track. And this is definitely going to be a fun one. That is that. I apologize by that, ladies and gentlemen. I had to get a bit of a breather before we get the start of this race. 25 drivers, all wanting to battle for the win in this race. What can they do? The clouds are overhead. Is it going to rain? Is it not going to rain? How many spots is Ricky Scott going to get? How many spots is he going to fall? But that will be the only time to tell. The drivers are lining up. Side by side they go. They're approaching the final chicane. Oh, I'm anxious. You can hear it in my voice. I am super anxious to see how well this performs as the drivers work their way through. Here goes Aiden Hasbrock. Where the hell he came to see this. Farmer trying to get the best jump that he possibly can. He may screw up as he goes through. Side by side, they're working their way through. Green, 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 here we go. Drivers are off as they take off, as they work their way down into turn one. Here they go. Is there going to be any risk taking here further down the grid? It looks super smooth. Looks like nobody is really trying to play it completely unsafe. Side by side they go. What a beautiful start. But I will not jinx it as they work their way through side by side. Andrew Jaschke's trying to take a look at the Bentley, at the Mercedes drivers as everybody else is trying to fan themselves through. Peter David working through. Here comes Ricky Scott on the inside of Peter David in the Aston Martin. He's trying to make something stick as he goes through, as the drivers are making their way through. What a beautiful start, ladies and gentlemen, as they go through here in this race. Ricky Scott now being attacked by Kevin. Nope. I apologize, as he's being attacked by one of the drivers in that BMW of Snug Rhino in that Porsche. I apologize, as I'm trying to follow everybody as they go through here. Ricky Scott definitely feeling the pressure, as we're going to jump back up aboard with Aiden Hasbrock as he's working his way through. He's now separated himself 6/10, but the battle for P3 is growing as Mathis Tuda right behind him. Lane Sander, Tristan San Luis all taking the fight of him, with the new driver Andrew Jaschke and Jay Bruman working his way through here in that with that Mercedes. He's looking super strong, but don't count out Matt Artem as he's working his way through in this battle as well. As we go through, there is a beautiful freight train here, ladies and gentlemen. Further down the group, here is Josh Kimball. He's got AJ Silva right behind him as Casey Bennett catches the dirt a little bit, and they're moving here as Alex Alfonso working his way through. Beautiful dirt catch over the curves here as they work their way through here. The track is still fast, it's getting hot, and it's working its way up. The drivers are looking super strong and super racy. Oh, as we see Josh Kimball, he's trying to work his way up through the grid as best as he possibly can. Aiden Hasbrock has separated and gapped himself from Farmer to 1.1 seconds. Lane Sanders still on the back end of Tuda, and Kimball Silva has set the fastest lap. These guys are all racy and pacey as they work their way through. Here we go. Ricky Scott trying to make a move on Peter David as he goes down on the inside. Does not look like it's going to stick, but here we go through. Oh! As we see Keith Brown leads the back end down into turn 1 and 2 as he's working his way through up the grid. He's trying to get Tim Wilkins here as he's looking at it. As we see Stephon Buckley loses the back end, he snaps. Looks like he was possibly tapped a little bit through the race here. We see Bruce Hopkins all the way back there in P25, definitely not working his way up. So Buckley still can make something happen here as everybody's catching a little bit of the curb here as they go through here. But the battle now presides here for the P6 spot. Jay Vrooman, he's got a freight train right behind him with Andrew Jaschke, Matt Artem, Alfonso all behind him as these guys are working their way through the grid order. It is truly an amazing battle, everybody. Definitely keep an eye on this one because this one is for P6, everybody. As we see Tristan San Luis is about a second away from Lane Sander as everybody's starting to slide themselves in here in this grid order. Oh, we're starting to see Matt Artem. He's starting to push the pressure. Andre working his way through. We also have Casey Bennett. He is getting a big toe out of these drivers. Oh, let's see what happens. Now the mid-pack is starting to separate themselves. Keith Brown sets the fastest lap in the race, but we're going to drop down. Peter David is taking the battle to Ricky Scott. Oh, I apologize. Ricky Scott now working his way through. Tim Wilkins in the back there. He's trying to make a move happen on Snug Rhino, and he gets it to work. Super wide on the inside. Snug Rhino had to check out down in the chicane. Here they go. Ooh, the Honda loses the back end. Oh, everybody has to move out of the way a little bit as they go through. Possibly did Tim Wilkins lock the back end up. Now here comes Kevin Taraj. Tim Wilkins using the door, saying, hey, I want to take this battle here as they work their way through here. The Honda trying to be super racy as we see Jamie Morrison there in the background. Tim Wilkins now, he's slotting himself back to P20. And here goes the Porsche of Kevin Taraj. He goes super wide, doesn't see where Tim Wilkins is. Oh, and the door. Oh, man, that was definitely a racing incident, in my opinion, based on where they were at. Now, we're going to jump back up with Lane Sander, and we're going to move our way down to Jay Vrooman. He has separated himself. Andrew Jaschke still trying to work on the new driver here with us in this Mercedes-Benz. He is working and driving super well here, I must say. Huge congratulations to him as well. As we see Ricky Scott, we're going to jump aboard him as well. He is all over the back end of Alan Zhu in that McLaren, but can the Porsche hold back? But we also have Peter David all over Brian Douglas in that black Bentley in the background. Here comes the McLaren catching the brakes as he's working his way through here in the hairpin. Definitely the Porsche getting out of the hole faster Then that McLaren of Ricky Scott and his fan club definitely cheering him on, and the track is optimum. So you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? Fast lap after fast lap. Beautiful time with 54 minutes left to play here. In about 4 minutes, the pit window is going to open up, and that is definitely going to cycle a lot of people through here in there. Question is, who's going to undercut? Who's going to overcut? As we see Ricky Scott trying to reel in Alan Zhu as they work their way through, but it doesn't seem like he's going to get him onto the 130R as he goes through here. Definitely will. Peter David all over the back. Oh, everybody's catching the dirt. I'm wondering who's going to get caught out by that and possibly lose it as the freight train continues, everybody. As Jay is all over the back of Tristan San Luis. Man, the timing board really needs to hurry up. But that's okay, everybody, because the freight train is still going on. And this is for Andrew Cooper if he's watching, and for the Ricky Scott group. Choo-choo, as the group starts rolling. That's right, everybody. I just did that on live stream, and it was well worth every minute of it. Here we go. Andrew Jaschke now getting Matt Artem, the driver I told you to watch out for in this Audi. He is definitely going to try to push it to take this battle against Andrew Jaschke. There you saw the wiggle out of that BMW with the Audi on the approach, trying to go after him as fast as possible. Lane Zander now 6/10 up for P3. We're going to keep an eye on that to see if that develops any closer, everybody, as we go through that Audi looking super stable. Catches the dirt. Alex having to, I apologize. Andre getting a beautiful run with that Mercedes, but we also have Casey Bennett. That Mercedes looking super good deep into that corner with that BMW also following him as well. All right, here we go, everybody. We see Matt Artem looking super strong behind that BMW. Is he going to get the run on him? He kind of he gets it, but he loses it. But we also say, gee, Roman, he is on Tristan San Luis's bumper. He wants to get past him. He wants that P5 spot at the start. He's looking on the inside. He's going to check up right behind him. But Tristan San Luis, as he works his way through over the curve. Beautiful run right there. Beautiful. Not having to go too over the line as much as possible. Down into the final chicane here. Oh, is he going to get the run? Is he going to get it? Does not look like he's going to get it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to ride along board him and see from his perspective in the helmet cam. Beautiful move down on the inside of Tristan San Luis. Thank you and see you later. There goes Jake as he pulls away. Andrew Jaschke still. This battle is heating up between 7, 8, and 9 as they're definitely having a lot of issues here. Oh, Matt Artem looks like he lost it. Now here comes Andre on the battle from behind the Audi, but he don't look back too much. Here comes Casey Bennett in that BMW all over the back end of that Mercedes. Now we have Audi, Mercedes, BMW in a freight train. Josh Kimball on the outside looking in. He could possibly get a top 10 as we see Casey Bennett go a little bit wide here as they work their way through. Oh, Matt Artem's definitely stepping it up. He's trying to pull a little bit as much as he possibly can here in this fight. Oh, what a beautiful run here as the drivers are working their way through the best that they possibly can. We're going to keep an eye along board of everybody else here in this battle and see if we can't keep along. Alejandro Martinez possibly looking like he's going to have he's having a super strong battle with Jamie Morrison. We're going to drop down there and check out him, the P20 driver. Right behind him, we have Jamie Morrison, Tim Wilkins, and Stefan Buckley. They are freight training their way up to the hairpin. Tim Wilkins trying to, looks like Tim possibly lost the back end of his car, which caused him to slide out and tap the wall. So that's going to bring out the yellow flag. What a shame there for him as well. He's definitely was looking super racy at the beginning of the race, but Stefan Buckley trying to recover as much as he can. That's the problem when you're running a lot of rear bias in your car, trying to get it to hook and connect. A lot of times you run into that issue, but here comes Stefan Buckley all over the back of Jamie Morrison. Morrison goes wide. Buckley gets a run. Here he goes. Is that BMW going to punch a big enough hole for the Audi here. He's going to try to look on the outside. Is he going to switch back in? He's going to switch. He's going to the inside. Is Jamie going to give up the position? Jamie's going to shut the door. Buckley had to check out. Now Jamie's going to have a beautiful run on Alejandro in that Ferrari. Here comes the Audi. There is massive battles throughout this whole entire grid. 20, 21, 22. We also have battles between 10, 9, 8, 11, 12. Oh, Jamie Morrison loses the front. He snaps it. 49 minutes left to play. The pit window is open. Let's see how everybody plans out. As we see Bruce Hopkins in the back, he's working his way up the grid the best that he possibly can. Down into turn 1. Buckley, catches the brakes, kisses the bumper, says, hello, I'm here. As they work their way through, Alejandro Martinez has to check up. Jamie Morrison's going to let Buckley through. He knows the pace of Buckley. He knows it's better to just let him through, possibly capitalize that with Alejandro in front of him. As we watch Stefan Buckley now trying to work his magic through Alejandro Martinez in this grid order, but we're possibly going to jump front here to see Casey Bennett here in this battle with Andre here in the P9 spot. Here comes the BMW of Casey Bennett. He's looking super strong as well as he's working his way through here in this grid. Matt Artem now all over the back of Andrew Jaschke. He is P7 and P8. The Audi is working their way through here. Tristan St. Louis still being able to hold in and stay front on this battle here with that BMW, with the Mercedes-Benz of Jay Vrooman. Now here's the question. Who is going to pit early? Who's going to take that early strategy and mess everybody up? That is the big question here. That is what I would like to know, because we haven't had a whole lot of issues. The grip came up. The sun is coming out, everybody. We saw it was dark and cloudy at the start of the race, and now it's working its way through here. Ricky Scott for the fan club. I apologize. I did not want to leave you hanging here. Here's Ricky Scott. He is 5/10 off the pace of Alan Zhu, running it super wide, catching the dirt. He has fallen off base here. Excuse me. Against Alan Zhu. The question is how much is he going to try to reel him in as we start to see the drivers now start to settle themselves in here. And Jamie Morrison, now he is caught back up to Alejandro Martinez, and Stefan Buckley checked out to about 2.3 seconds. But the driver, we haven't had a chance because he never really got a chance to qualify. Right? Bruce Hopkins definitely looking there. Ooh, Jamie Morrison's car wanting to dig as going into the corner. For those that do not know what dig is, that's when you start to try to rotate your car and you notice the car is super soft. It wants to just dig into the corner. Here comes Jamie Morrison down on the inside. He's going to make it stick. Now here comes Bruce. Bruce is looking. Is Bruce going to get it to work? It does not make it work. Oh, and now he's going to try the outside through the S's here. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is for P12, P22, and P23. Alejandro Martinez goes super wide, lets Bruce through. Bruce kind of wiggled his way into this track as we go. See, now let's take a look as well. We're going to slot back up to this battle for P7 between Andrew Jaschke, as Jaschke, Artem, Fonzo, Bennett all in this battle. But we're also going to see, as you see, Josh Kimball sitting there P11 with 2.6 off the pace of Casey Bennett. He is still on the outside to look in. He possibly can make something happen as they go through here. What a beautiful race by the drivers here. Huge shout out to everybody. Here comes the BMW of Andrew Jaschke. Matt Artem still on that back end of him as we wait for this race to develop here. This is the closest battle we have, ladies and gentlemen, on the track. And these drivers are just not letting up. Aiden Hasbrock, the leader of this race, he's sitting there P1. He has separated himself 6.3 seconds from P2. He's already lapped what looks to be Kevin Tarrant in that P24 spot. So he is definitely working his way through the grid, as well as we see Farmer, your P2 driver in that Ferrari, working his way through the S's. He is now 1.7 off the pace of Lane Xander in that McLaren. And Mathis Tuda, he's sitting there in P4 as he's working his way through. Jay Vorum in that Mercedes, he's sitting there P5. He's separating himself very nicely to Tristan St. Louis to about 1.5. Oh, Andre Alfonso, looks like there was a bit of an issue. Casey Bennett got through. Now the question is Andre gonna be able to make something happen and work his way around him? There you saw Josh Kimball on the little back end there. Before the camera snapped, that you could see him on the outside looking in, so he could move up a good amount of spots depending on what happens. Ricky Scott, Alan Zhu, here's a close battle. They're working up to the hairpin. Ricky Scott definitely utilizing all his brakes to get a beautiful run on the Porsche. But the Porsche, that rear engine car, definitely gets a beautiful push out of the hole there. Definitely setting Ricky Scott back there a lot, but AJ Silva driving a beautiful race in P12 as Brian Douglas is sitting there in that P15 spot for that outside looking in section in the point standings, ladies and gentlemen. This is a beautiful race. Huge shout out to the viewers that are joining. Let me know what's your view on this race, as it looks like Brian Douglas possibly went a little bit wide there, lost it. Here comes Peter David. Ooh, that's a little questionable as you see Snug Rhino make his way through here. Now, where's Keith Brown? Keith Brown, he is right there. Now, how did he move up? That is definitely going to be an interesting one. Did he lose out and then Keith Brown move in? Possibly. As he's working his way through, Keith Brown setting a 2:04.5. Beautiful run right there. As he goes through, let's take a look. What else is the closest battle? Alan Zhu, Ricky Scott. They're working their way through nose to tail as they're on the main straightaway. Oh, Alan Zhu looking to make it. He's trying to go for that in and out approach into turn one. Certain drivers, some like myself, when I'm racing at Suzuka, I like to approach that corner wide, and then come in real narrow going into the corner here as they go through here. Oh, look at him working his way up on the back end of AJ Silva, but Ricky Scott's definitely on the outside looking in here. He's hopefully trying to capitalize on something as Alan Zhu is looking for a super strong performance, but here comes the McLaren of Ricky Scott. He's going to try it on the outside, everybody. Here he goes. Coming up to the corner, checks out. Oh, almost clipped the back, but checked out right there. Ooh, that was a close one. Oh, man. That was smooth right there by Ricky Scott, trying to look on the inside, hoping that something would happen as they go through here. Oh, looks like Alan Zhu is checked out of him, as well as now he's taking the fight even more to the Bentley as he works his way up the hill. Oh, the Porsche looking to get a beautiful run. Can he though? That's what we've always been waiting for. That Bentley's got a beautiful hole that punches out the arrow, but the Porsche just does not have what it takes to get that Bentley on the main straights as he works his way up the grid. And it looks like Kevin Tarrant's decided to dive into the pits. Jamie Morrison's called it quits. He's jumped into the pits. What a shame there by Jamie Morrison. Huge shout out to Jamie Morrison, ladies and gentlemen. As we see Alan Zhu, 2/10 off the pace, working his way through. Matt Artem still on the back end of Andrew Jashke. We're going to slot up aboard here as we see this battle for P7. As we see Tristan St. Louis in P6. The drivers are still trying to work their way through. The track is super hot with 31 degrees Celsius, 24 degrees. Track is 31, air temp is 24. Here we go. Artem looking super strong. Is he going to be able to reel in Jashke through these couple corners here and make it stick? Ooh, does not look. Oh, and you see Kevin Tarrant is going to let that driver through. Now he's going to have the whole, he's going to have to try to let 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 through in some pretty interesting corners here as these drivers are working their way up the hill. You see Andre right there on the outside as they come up. Now the question is, how much is Kevin Tarrant going to slow these drivers down as they work their way through the grid? Beautiful angle shot. Matt Artem looking. A beautiful looking BMW through this bends here as they go through. Tristan St. Louis, where is he in correlation to Kevin Tarrant? They're on the main straight working their way down. Doesn't seem like he's going to catch him here. Maybe he'll catch him into turn 1. That'll definitely help Tristan San Luis work way through. Maybe he'll help Matt Artem get his way through traffic here as we start to see the BMW make his way up to the BMW. The BMW's moving out to the side, saying, hey, all right, go around the left side of me. And you see the drivers work their way through. Now, who's going to be the big out of here coming up to turn 1? Looks like Kevin Tarantz is going to slow it down. Casey Bennett's going to get through. Andre gets through. Beautiful job. Here comes Josh Kimball. He's on the main straight there. So these drivers are definitely working their way through here in this race. Huge shout out to them as they go through. Oh, Matt Artem's front end loses it a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. You saw that. Oh, Kevin Tarantz, he's going to try to get out of the way of Casey Bennett. He knows. Oh, Casey Bennett trying to make it through. They're through the S's. It's a little hard to just let the drivers through, as Kevin Tarantz is going to probably let them through here. Now here comes Andre. Andre's going to try to capitalize with the back marker, as Kevin Tarantz is still just holding the drivers up as they go through here. Now here they go through. He's able to let them go through. Now Andre's on the attack, onto Casey Bennett. As they come through into the hairpin. Oh, Kevin Tarantz super late on the brakes as he's trying to follow the leaders to pick up pace to take this battle and just stay with them and try to reel in as much as they can. As Jay has now brought in the Mathis Tuda. Now we have a beautiful battle all the way through the grid, but we're going to be trying to follow as much as we possibly can, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the bouncing around, but we're going to try to capitalize on all of the battles that we possibly can here in this race. As we start to see Andre go super wide, he's going to check out of it a little bit. Does not look like he gets a big enough run here on them, but Matt Artem, he's 2/10 off the pace. He has been all over the back end of Andrew Jaschke, trying to make him do something here in this race. Down on the inside, Matt takes a look, hoping that Jaschke kind of takes a bite on that, but it doesn't seem like he does much. And it doesn't seem like he did at all. As we see Jay, he is still 4/10 off the pace of P3. We'll keep an eye on that to see if that develops any more. Oh, the sun, you can see it. The sun is coming in, ladies and gentlemen. The sun is coming in. We're reaching the almost the halfway, 7 minutes from the halfway mark. That means once we hit the halfway mark, 20 more minutes of the pit window. Question is, who's going for the long strat here? That is definitely the one that I kind of want to know. Who is going to go for the long strat versus the short strat? Who's going to try to push this out? You know, the track was a little bit muggy. A lot of the drivers didn't really push a whole lot here in this race. Question is, how much is this going to bite someone in the butt with the temperatures of their tires here? Because now as the sun comes out, everything's going to come up here. What a beautiful race we are having, ladies and gentlemen. The viewers, tell me what you think. How do you like the race so far? Looks like we got Stefan Buckley all over the back. Oh, he got past Snug Rhino. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Stefan Buckley is making his way up the grid. He's sitting there P18. He got past Snug Rhino for that position, so he's going to leapfrog him in the standings right here as he works his way through. The new driver, Keith Brown, he's trying to catch Brian Douglas. He was originally ahead of him. Looks like something possibly happened. He had to slow down and check out, and he fell behind. Bentley getting a beautiful line is that McLaren's trying to work something, and here we see Stefan Buckley trying to catch up to Peter David in that Aston Martin. Oh, we got Jay. He's less than 2/10 off Tuda as they get onto the main straight, and Lane Sanders right there behind them. He's on the outside looking in as they work their way up to turn 1. Oh, beautiful run by that Mercedes onto that Porsche through the S's. Let's see what they can do. The Brazilian driver looking super strong here through the S's. as Jay trying to work it through. Looks like there's a little bit of a front end damage on that Ferrari, as well as a little bit of side damage and back end. Oh, looks like a little bit of rubbing there, ladies and gentlemen. As we keep an eye on everybody, it looks like Tuda is just like, all right, okay, I gotta step it up a little bit. But Andrew Jaschke, this battle behind them, the three, we've got Tristan St. Louis, Andrew Jaschke, Matt Artem in the battle, as we see Casey Bennett and Andre in that battle, as well as these. Everybody is starting to develop. Everything is looking super nice. We still have 4 minutes left to roll. Dang, Roma, Ricky Scott playing the long game. GD's IQ there, man. Totally. Dank Roma, I miss you. We need you out on the track here. I'm happy to see that you've joined the chat. I'm happy. As we get through, all we need is Carbonado, and everything is complete. I'm curious, is Ember in the chat as well? Huge shout out to yours. We have a drive-through. Looks like Alejandro Martinez got a drive-through. He did. What a shame there at Suzuka. So he's going to have to go through and serve that drive-through. But thankfully, the drive-through is super fast, and he doesn't have to actually stop like a 30-second stop-go here in this race. As Andre Alexander, gets a beautiful run on Casey, making Casey go super defensive through 130R as they come down into the chicane. For some reason, I kept wanting to call it 160R, and I know there's a lot of F1 fans that are watching that are probably triggered by me actually saying 160. Casey Bennett dives into the pits. One of the first front runners. He's going to dive in the pits and switch up. So now the question is, what is the pace that Andre have in comparison to Casey Bennett to work his way up? For those that were wondering, where is Ricky Scott? Here's Ricky Scott, P13, everybody, as he's trying to make his way on against Alan Zhu, who's sitting there P12, 7.4 seconds off the pace of Josh Kimball. And it's definitely going to see what happens as we jump now down. Stefan Buckley all over the back end of Brian Douglas. Stefan Buckley sends it. He makes it squeeze. AJ Silva, Brian Douglas. What happened there, ladies and gentlemen? What a shame there. That is definitely not something that you want to see while you're streaming. But we have Lane Zander all over the back of Jay as he's working his way up the grid, 3/10 off. He's looking on the inside of that Mercedes. He wants to make it stick. He gets a beautiful out of the corner drive. Can the red minnow, weird Ferrari like McLaren that has an identity crisis, make something happen against that Mercedes? That is definitely a true as Casey Bennett gets a 30-second stop go. What a shame there. Beautiful run. What a shame. That's going to be like a whole extra pit, but based on his pace and performance, he possibly can make something happen better as we start to see Snug Rhino is going to be all over the back of Stefan Buckley, which he did get past. Now Peter David is taking the attack to, as he goes super wide and catches the dirt there. That was a close call for Peter David with Stefan Buckley. As we see Dominant Square, he's worked his way up to P16. He's got Bruce Hopkins right behind him. Alejandro Martinez, he had to serve a drive-through penalty, so Casey Bennett can still work his way up through. So we have Brian Douglas in the pit, AJ Silva in the pit. They're going to have to serve some damage there. What a shame there for them as well. As Keith Brown got disqualified. Very interesting there as well to see that. But now we have Andrew Jaschke. He is working his way with Tristan St. Louis, who's in that P3 spot. Farmer, Tuda, and Rome are all dived into the pit. So that's going to be an interesting one, everybody. What is going to happen with those three coming out into the grid order? Because a lot of these drivers, depending on where they come out, doesn't matter if you serve the pit, you are all racing for position. Let's take a look. Andrew Jaschke's looking super strong. See Bruce Hopkins, he's all over Dominant Square. It's going to be one of the closest battles. These two BMW and Audi drivers have just been duking it out all race. Looks like Matt's just trying to conserve his tires, go for the long stretch here as we see Ricky Scott's diving in the pits. He's going for the halfway. So Dank Roma lied to me. You were saying he was playing the long game. What a shame by Dank Roma. And there I called you a friend. As we see Casey Bennett, he's going to dive back into the pit and serve that 30-second stop go. Andrew Jaschke's looking He is looking. He's trying to make it stick here. He definitely got that door open there on Tristan San Luis. Now here comes the run on the BMWs. Side by side they go on this back straight. Who's going to want to push it through 130? Oh, Andrew Jaski checks out. He's going to sit right behind it. Dominic Square dives into the pits to serve his pit. Andrew Jaski still all over the back end of him. What an amazing battle, ladies and gentlemen. Ember! Hey! Ember, we were just talking about you while I was wondering, where is Farmers Cheering Squad? And here's Ember 11, ladies and gentlemen. Farmers Cheering Squad in the chat saying, hey, how are you? How was your night? How's your evening? What do you got playing this weekend? I'm curious because now as the pit rotations go, everybody kind of slots into their groove. And we got it. Dank Robot says, got you good. Yeah, you got me good. You got me good. A little upset, a little sad, but that's okay. You're still my friend, Dank Roma. Lane Xander and Josh Kimball both dive into the pits. So now that's going to cycle a lot of these drivers up. Our leader, Aiden Hasbrock, and championship leader, still is in that P1 slot. And he is definitely showcasing his performance and how this race has been going. Oh, here comes Matt. Matt's now on the attack. He's trying to push it. Jay is now all over the back of Bruce Hopkins here. We'll possibly jump down to that very shortly as now we see Snug Rhino, Stefan Buckley, Peter David. They all dove into the pits. Oh, here they go. Can he make it work? He can't. Oh, Matt's getting the run. Oh, Matt had to check up. He was about to tap the back end of Andrew Jaschke in that BMW. Oh, what a shit. Oh, that would have been beautiful. Not the hit, but just, try to make that move on the inside. That would have been beautiful. But there you see Andre on the outside looking in. He's about 3.4 off the pay, 3.4 off the third time. Trying to reel them in. Lane Xander now 0.6 ahead of Jay in that P10 spot. And now here comes Andrew Jaschke. He's going to dive into the pits. Now we're going to jump up by Jay as we're going to see, Snug Rhino gets a 30-second time penalty. Lane Xander's going to try to get his way past Bruce Hopkins. As now we see Andrew Jaschke, Andre, they're diving in the pits. So 1, 2, and 3 still have yet to dive in the pits. P6, Alan Zoo still has yet to dive in the pits. Bruce Hopkins going for that super long strategy, which is quite the interesting one. But now how is Lane Xander going to combat Bruce Hopkins to get past him? Because this still is a battle for position. So, I mean, if it was me and I knew, say I was going to pit the next lap, I would just let the two by. You're not in competition. You're not in a battle. Just let the two by and just keep going. Oh, super brake matching there with the McLaren drivers as Lane Xander's back end steps out. Here comes the Mercedes. Oh, there goes Bruce Hopkins into the pit. I feel like that was just too much of a holdup. But, you're trying to get a grid spot position, so anything is possible. Oh, here he goes. Side by side. Is Jay going to try to get it to stick on the outside? Lane Xander covers the inside, forcing the Mercedes driver to try to make a move, and he can't get it to stick. Lane Xander catches all the dirt in the world to cover the inside, but here comes that Merc catching the brakes, trying not to rear end that McLaren. But that Merc of Jay definitely looking super racy as they're both catching the curves. Seems like Jay's probably going to check up right behind him and not try to push as much as possible. But now comes Matt on to Tristan San Luis. He said, oh man, that's one BMW. Now I got another BMW. We still have 25 minutes left to play, and the pit window still has 15 minutes left to go. As we have Farmer in P5, Lane Xander P6, Jay Roram in P7, Andrew Jaschke P8 with Mathis Tuda right behind Andrew Jaschke trying to make something work. Doesn't seem like he's going to try to get past him. If I was Matt Artem, I would definitely just try to check up right behind him, see how far I can push this, see what the long strat shows me as you go through here in this race. And here we have Casey Bennett. He's now P16 working through with Peter David. He's about 3/10 behind Peter David here in the back here. So, Casey Bennett, he was sitting there in that top spot, so his pace is substantially faster than these two drivers. No offense to them. If Casey Bennett can get past him, he could push and get past Bruce, Stefan Buckley, and he can start to reel himself way up the top. Alan Su dives into the pits, so now P1, 2, and 3 still have yet to serve their pit strategy rotation. But Casey Bennett's going to have to do a massive recovery drive. Where's Carbonado when you need him to try to figure out the strategy? Casey Bennett's looking, he was trying to do a little bit of a switchback into that hairpin. For those that don't know, that corner is a little bit tricky because when you come in, it leads you one way, but it shuts the door the other way as these drivers work their way through here. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but right now, Tuda is all over the back of Andrew Jaschke with Andre right there as well. The Ferrari and the Merc driver are trying to get past a BMW that is big. P1 is diving into the pits, ladies and gentlemen. P1 is diving into the pits. He's going for a late straight. Question is 2 and 3 going to follow suit and try to run on the same cycle as Aiden Hasbrock as they work their way through. As the Ferrari driver of Tuda and the race winner of Monza, the Brazilian driver, is trying to do what he possibly can to try to secure an even higher position. Farmer sitting there P4. Jay Vroom sitting there P5. We got Lane Zander P6 and Andrew Jaschke P7. Tuda gets him on the infield part of the S's, like the first and second sector, but the third sector, he really loses it on that BMW. But I could be completely wrong because it looks like he's getting a beautiful run now up the hill. Let's see, we got number 15, which is Lane Zander. Now the question is, how much is this going to help out Matt Artem as he gets past Tristan San Luis? It's going to slot him into the provisional first place position here in this race. Tuda still trying to make it thick. Jaschke's just got that BMW. Ooh, looks like Snug Rhino is just going to let them through. Doesn't want to start too much of a battle like how Kevin Tarrance did. Now Casey Bennett is still all over the back end of Peter David. He's probably furious right now. He knows he has the pace. He's just like, come on, I'm chewing up my tires right now. It's a beautiful run through this corner here. Now, can he get it to stick? Peter David's definitely on the super defensive. Now, here goes Bruce Hopkins. He's going super wide. Now, the question is that going to help him get that run that he wants in that BMW? He does get the run. Is he going to look for the outside, inside? He's going to try to switch. He switches. Peter David covers it into that corner. Ooh, that was close, everybody. That was super close. Beautiful driving by these two drivers, everybody. Beautiful driving. See, Stefan Buckley still on the outside looking in. That BMW still wants something. See, we're down to the 20-minute mark. 10 minutes left of the pit rotation. And it seems like Matt Artem, Tristan San Luis is in the pits. Your provisional leader right now is at the top of the S's here, coming through. He still has yet to pit in this rotation. Let's see, what else do we have? Ricky Scott up to P12, ladies and gentlemen. He's moved up some spots. He's sitting there alone in P12, about 11.4 off the pace with Stefan Buckley, 22. As Casey Bennett still trying to make something happen and work his way through. Ooh, this is his chance. Peter David makes a mistake. Here comes Casey down on the inside. Oh, Peter David, they catch. They're trying to go. Peter David checks up right behind Casey. He's like, I did as much as I possibly could. Now here comes Casey Bennett. Now he just has to put the pressure on Bruce Hopkins and work his way up the grid. Now we're going to slot up to Andrew Jaschke and Mathis Tuda and Andre Alfonso as this battle develops ahead of us. And we'll have to keep an eye on that as it goes through here. So here we go. 7, 8, 9 are all freight training through, and it looks like Tristan San Luis is also in that battle, that P5. So now it's 5, 6, 7, 8 going through here, and 9, I apologize. Oh, it's Andre definitely catching a lot of that curve. There's the sparks shoot up there. Oh, that was beautiful. As we go through, and Matt Artem has dove into the pits. Where is he going to cycle through here in this race? Dank Roma says, can't believe that didn't end in an accident. Great control driver. Huge shout out to the drivers. Everybody is driving exceptionally well with exceptionally high standards here in this race. And we have so many battles. This battle has been going on all day long in this race here from the start to finish. All 4 of these drivers have been freight trained. But the question is, where is Matt going to come out? We know he was sitting behind Andrew Jaschke. Tristan San Luis fell out. He fell back behind. So where is Matt in this? He is still in the pits. He still has yet to move. Here they come up to the final chicane. As they come through, Lane Zander's in front of them. So they're reeling in Lane Zander, who is P5 right now. As this is starting to develop even more. Where's Matt? Matt's starting to roll. Is he going to get out in time? I don't think he's going to get out in time. He does. He does. He jumps him. What a beautiful move by Matt. Where is he? He gets them into turn 1. So he's going to be ahead of Lane Zander as this battle is starting to even more develop here. The question is, how much is Lane Zander going to want to push to try to catch up to them even further in this grid order? And Matt Thestuda is definitely trying to make something happen as this race is starting to develop even more as they go through. Let's take a look. Does not look like Ricky Scott's reeling anybody in. Casey Bennett is now all over the back of Bruce Hopkins, but right now the battle between 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is still freight trading through this race. Ladies and gentlemen, this is beautiful spectacle to see, and I'm super happy to have all you viewers here watching this at GT Meister Racing. For those that are interested in joining the Discord, let me know. I will get you a link there as well, as Tuda is trying to do as much as he can, as Andre is still trying to work. He's like, I got stuck behind a BMW. Now I'm stuck behind a Ferrari. Why am I just stuck everywhere? As we see Andre still trying to work his magic around this Ferrari as we go through. Everybody gets like these beautiful runs and then they lose it all out in this one little corner as Tristan San Luis runs a super wide and catches a lot of that curb. What an amazing 4 through 9, everybody. 4 through 9. Amazing battle. Andre looks on the inside, checks up right behind the Ferrari. The Ferrari covers. Andre's going to try to get a run on it. He's going to go outside in. Is he going to try to send it? He does not send it. He checks up right behind him as they go through here. Everybody just looking. Nobody wants to break the draft. Oh, he looks, but he noticed Tuda making that little bit move on the inside to kind of shut the door on him. So he had to check up right behind as they come into turn 1 and 2. Matt Artem now going to start feeling the pressure of that McLaren of Lane Zander, followed by the BMW of Andrew Jaschke as these guys are freight training through the S's. Mathis Tuda just like, I just need to get through this as much as possible. Andrew Jaschke just trying to make his car 5 feet wider as everything is developing with 15 minutes left to play, 5 minutes left of the pit window as we keep going here. Let's see, Casey Bennett looks like he got past Bruce Hopkins but fell to Peter David. But right now, this is the battle that we're all watching. This is the battle we all want to see here. Is this top battle between P4, Matt Artem, P5, Lane Zander, P6, Andrew Jaschke, 7 of Mathis, 2 to 8 of Andre Alfonso, and P9 of Tristan San Luis as they make their way through this Suzuka track as the sun is out and it is optimal and it is warm as they work their way through the grid. Let's take a look. Definitely going to try to save my voice towards the end of the race. Thank you for the follow, RFAB Thiago. Thank you for the follow. Huge shout out to you. I hope you're having a wonderful night. Welcome to GT Meister Racing. We'll definitely get you guys a link to the Discord here in a second as we continue watching this battle develop here for this top front runners here. As Mathis Titus looking outside in, definitely check it up. Andrew Jaschke covering the inside. Mathis Titus loses the back end. Oh, he loses it. Now that's going to allow Tristan San Luis through the back end, stepped out. I don't think there was any contact at all between the drivers. So that's definitely going to be an interesting one for them to see how this develops and whether or not there will be a steward report at the end of the race. So that's going to allow him to fall back behind. But now he's going to have to try to reel everybody in. So that means it's going to be super focused. And the big loser out on this is Andre Alex, as he slotted himself into P9. What a beautiful start to the race. For those that are in the chat and would like to join the Discord and participate or just join the group and be a part of everything, you can check us out at the Discord link in the chat window as well as we go through. So we're going to keep along board and watch everybody as they're racing here. And it looks like Reckler trying to join, but he was a little bit too late. What a shame there, as these drivers are still battling it out. Now let's take a look. Where is Tuda? Tuda is starting to work his way back up. Andrew Jaschke still sitting there in P6. He's now trying to take the fight to Lane Zander and try to make something happen there. As we see Dominic Square, he's going to be all over the back end of Bruce Hopkins in that BMW. Oh, he is all over the back. And he's making it look on the outside in. Bruce Hopkins is going to cover the inside. Bruce Hopkins blows that corner. And Dominic Square is going to lose out. But Bruce Hopkins slows down. He knows, hey, I messed up that corner. He's going to let Dominic Square go. That's beautiful racing. Beautiful driver etiquette. Huge shout out to all the drivers here at Suzuka and part of GT Meister Racing. If you guys would like to join us, please let us know. Join the Discord. We'll get you all part of this as well. Oh, Dominic Square catching a little bit of dirt. But right now, the battle that we really want to see is what is up front here between Andrew Jaschke, Lane Zander, and Matt Artem. As Lane Zander, 6/10, he's going to get a beautiful run on that Audi. He's going to try to punch that hole and catch him as fast as possible before anything happens here. As we see, we're going to run down the order. Aiden Hatsbrock, P1. Farmer, P2. Jay Ruman, P3. Matt Artem, P4. Lane Zander, P5. Andrew Jaschke, P6. Mathis, 2 to P7. Tristan San Luis, 8. Andre Alex Alfonso, P9. Josh Kimball, P10. Alan Zoo, P11. Ricky Scott, P12 to the Ricky Scott fan club that's in the voice chat. Stefan Buckley working his way up. Beautiful run up to P13. Casey Bennett bringing himself to P14. The question is he going to get Stefan Buckley before the end of the race with 11 minutes left to play? We got Peter David, P15 in that last championship point standing there as he's trying to reel in Casey Bennett as much as possible with that Aston Martin. As we see Matt Artem catching the dirt a little bit, goes super wide. As now we see Tristan San Luis in the back end of that screenshot take the fight towards Mathis Tuda. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. As we go through, try to save my voice. 22 seconds left to play of the pit window, and then after that, it's a 10-minute shootout. The temperature is still reeling up a little bit, everybody, as the race is starting to develop. Lane Xander going super wide there. Definitely losing out a lot of that pace to the driver. But now we have Mathis Tuda now getting attacked by Tristan San Luis. Tuda must have a lot of damage as he's losing out. Tristan San Luis takes a look on the inside, checks up right behind, and through 130R as they go up to the chicane here. Oh, beautiful braking, trying to stay on him. Doesn't look like the back end is breaking out on Tuda's Ferrari at all. But Tristan San Luis, a beautiful run on Tuda's Ferrari as they work their way onto the main straight. But Andre's still there. Tuda's looking on the inside. Tristan San Luis trying to make him do something. Oh, he's trying to switch it. He's going on the outside. Can he make it stick? And around the bend they go. Tuda covers it beautifully, making Tristan San Luis double guess himself here. But now this BMW driver of Tristan San Luis is trying to push it as much as possible. We're waiting for the camera to catch up, everybody. I apologize for that. As they go through, 9 minutes left to play. It is getting spicy and dicey. Oh man, I'm getting all these catchphrases. I gotta come out with a book. Dang, Roma, I'm gonna have to have you write down all my fancy little catchphrases. So this developing battle for P7 is starting to grow as we're watching the BMW of Tristan San Luis trying to bring in the Ferrari of Mathis Tuda, ladies and gentlemen, for the new viewers that are joining us. Wow, what a beautiful run by these guys. Now Mathis Tuda is starting to reel in Andrew Jaschke. He may be 2 seconds off the pace, but this push by Tristan San Luis on Tuda is just going to grow everything even better as they work their way up in this grid. Beautiful run. Looks like Tuda catches the dirt. Tristan San Luis can't run a lot of that curb or the back end breaks out on him, and he loses it a little bit. Here he goes onto the back straight. Can he do anything about this? It does not look like he can really do anything about this. Oh, he's looking on the inside. Is he going to check up? He's not. He's going to go for it. Tuda's going to have to be can't talk today. Tuda's going to have the ability to attack. He's going to try the outside. Tristan San Luis covers the inside. Now Tuda gets a beautiful run coming out of that chicane and out of the main straight. So Tristan San Luis slots in that P7 spot and definitely taking it away. Now Tuda's going to fall back behind. Tristan San Luis covers the inside, holding the door a little bit there as they go through into turn one. See, right now, aside from P4, 5, and 6, this is the closest battle we have, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to quickly jump up there and see how that battle is developing. And we jump, and it does not look like it's really growing. Everybody's just staying about 6 to 4 tenths between each other. Nobody's really like closing in right there. So now we're going to jump back down to Tuda. Is Tuda going to have something to take to Tristan San Luis? But right now, Tristan San Luis's tires are super fresh, and he is just gapping Tuda right now, and he's about 7 tenths in this race. Now we also have AJ Silva all the way down here in that P19 spot. He is sitting right behind Kevin Tarrant, and he's trying to make something happen here, ladies and gentlemen. And that's right. Throughout the whole entire grid, this battle has been developing and fighting as much as possible. Lane Xander's now falling back 9 tenths for Matt Artem. Matt Artem is separated himself from Lane Xander and really wants to solidify himself with that P4 finish here. Doesn't look like Silva's really getting a good run on Kevin Tarrant with 5 minutes left and 50 seconds left to play. But behind them, you saw it on that back straight, Matt Artem, Lane Xander, and Andrew Jaschke are right there. So this is a massive battle. The question is, how is this all going to work through traffic? This is what we were talking in the drivers' meeting. How is this going to play out into the fact? Because this is a battle for position, and those 3 drivers are going to have to try to figure something out to get through this group. Here, Silva looking super squirrely, so he's going to want to try to stay with Kevin Tarrant just in case something happens here in this race. And Matt Artem is really pushing here through the S's because he knows he's going to have to try to get through this group here and try to get out ahead of them so he doesn't get caught up by Lane Zander and Andrew Jaschke in this form of racing here at Suzuka with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. Oh, Matt's looking on the inside. Does he make it stick? He is going to make it stick on AJ Silva. Now here comes Lane Zander. Lane Zander is going to squeeze on the inside. Now the question is where is AJ Silva going to do with Andrew Jaschke? Andrew Jaschke is going to send it around the outside. Kevin Tarrance moves out of the way. Lane Zander. Oh, what a shame. Oh, Lane Zander goes super wide. He probably wasn't expecting Kevin Tarrance to be there. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. So that's now going to slot Tristan San Luis up there. And that's going to allow Mathis Tuda up there as well. Oh, yeah. Whoa, what a shame. Oh. You know, honestly, Kevin Tarrance did what he could. He moved out of the way, gave the space. What probably wasn't expecting Lane Zander to take that corner super deep and super wide. So right now, Lane Zander's going to be pushing back there to try to move up the spots, everybody. As Kevin Tarrance is like, okay, I'm going to just get out of everybody's way. As this is starting to develop here, we see Andrew Jaschke, Tristan San Luis. This is a battle for P5 as they work their way through here in this race. Poor AJ Silva losing it out on that. He was just a victim there as the back end step there. Battle is still developing here in this race as they're going through. Matt Artem manages to pull out a big gap due to that incident there and separated himself. Andrew Jaschke, Tristan San Luis, those fresh tires of Tristan San Luis in that BMW is definitely trying to get something to work here on the BMW of Andrew Jaschke, but from what we can see, Andrew Jaschke does not make it easy for you to get past. Looks like Tristan San Luis runs that corner a little bit wider there compared to Andrew Jaschke. Let's take a look at the lines. Tight. Tristan San Luis goes wide. It looks like Zander goes partially wide also through that corner. Now let's take a look at the leaders as we go through, because it looks like everybody's trying to fall back in the development unless Mathis Tuda is going to try to do a 2-minute rush, because after this we should be on the final lap. Let's see, where is the leader of the race? Number 2, he has already crossed the line. So it's going to be this lap, and then this will be the final lap if I'm correct. Oh, Tristan San Luis is looking inside, outside, checks up. Andrew Jaschke overshoots the corner. He's going to cover the inside. Now Tristan San Luis is going to try the outside onto the main straight. Catches the dirt. Here comes Tuda. Tuda's now going to try it on the inside of that BMW. He's getting that beautiful run. He's going to slot himself possibly up into that P6 spot. He does. Tristan San Luis looks on the inside. Tuda's like, yeah, nope. As they come through here in this grid order. Excuse me, I apologize, everybody. So now Tuda managing to salvage as much as possibly can here as they go through. We have 52 seconds left to play. The leader is already through the hairpin as the drivers are going to work up. Number 222. It looks like he is off the track. Oh, he's waiting for the grid to go through of J Vroom. Oh, what happened to J Vroom? Oh, Lane Zander gets a drive-through penalty. Track cuts. Oh, what a shame. And then loses the back end there. Oh, what a shame there by Lane Zander. As looks like Andre Alfonso goes into the pits. The race still is yet to be finished. But now that's going to slot Ricky Scott up to P11, everybody, as he's working his way through. As we get down to the 1 second mark, where is the leader of the race? As, 30-second stop go from Andre. What a shame there. The leader looks to be, he has finished his race. Where is P2? A Farmer for Ember. P2 coming through the chicane here. He's about to cross the line, but Matt Artem is definitely separating himself. He's going to be sitting there P through as Andrew Jaschke and Mathis Tuda still battling develop, as Andrew Jaschke still trying to cover everything. Mathis Tuda trying to make it stick as they come down into the hairpin. Casey Bennett and Peter David has finished the race. Dominant Squares finished the race. Bruce Hopkins finished the race. P2 has finished. P3 has finished. P4 will finish. P5 finished. P6 has finished. Lane Xander, he is serving his drive-through penalty in the pits, as Jay Room may leapfrog him there. Which we see he does on Lane Xander, as Lane Xander is in the pits. Josh Kimball is going to finish P9. Well, let's see where Josh Kimball is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Josh Kimball blew that corner right there, and you're going to see Alan Zhu right behind him as they're about to cross the line. Josh Kimball's going to finish P9, Alan Zhu P10. Ricky Scott coming through the final chicane as he works his way through here. Ricky Scott is about to cross the line now, put in P11, and I know the fans are probably going crazy as Stefan Buckley is going to finish in P12 as he's coming through up to the final chicane, as we're waiting for Andre Alex, who's P13 to cross the line. He's got a 30-second stop go. And across the line, Stefan Buckley goes through. Now first race, definitely huge contention at the top. Manages to slot himself into P13. Huge shout out to the race winners of Aiden Hasbrock, Tyler Farmer, and Matt Artem. Now we're going to get those drivers into the voice chat. We'll have a huge interview with them here in a second. So let's be right back, and we'll get these drivers in here for you, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and here comes your podium interviews. I am your host, Exia, as we get going through. Knox still says, let's go, boys. Top 10. Congratulations to you in that top 10 finish in the race at Suzuka. We're going to jump into our P3 finisher, a driver we really weren't seeing as the battle was developing due to the late strategy and the pit strategy. Somehow helped him out in allowing him into that P3 finish here in this race. Talk us through your race. I mean, because you, the battle from P4 to P9 was just the whole race. It was just that massive
it was
five-spot
amazing.
battle.
It was cool.
I thought, I always thought I would go long on fuel and see where that put me. And so I stuck the plan, and I thought, well, I'm not going to jump all these guys, but I did. I jumped all the way up to fourth. I don't know how. But when my tires were worn, I still had good pace. So, yeah, I don't know how, but it happened. And I was in fourth, and then the Merc crashed, I guess. I don't know. I saw him along side of the road.
Hmm.
Gagner, I don't know what happened to the Merc new guy.
That's definitely something that we'll have to take a look at the replay feature, as well as when we upload everything through the group. And a huge congratulations to you, P3 finish. This is definitely
Yeah,
going
it
to
was
help you.
great. Congrats to everyone. It was fun.
I'm sure it was, and I'm pretty sure right now you just probably want to sit back and relax and not have to
Yeah.
do anything.
Yes. It's tiring. Okay, guys.
And
Okay, guys.
we are going to be jumping over to our P2 finisher, Mr. Farmer. Manages to get a podium at Monza and manages to reel in and pull something off here at Suzuka. And I mean, what an amazing battle. I mean, you had a really close qualifying session, very tight battles in qualifying, manages to, pull off like a really good start of your run, manages to just slot yourself into P2 and kind of not have to look back, and you just head forward and race your race. I mean, how are you looking so far close towards the end of the season as you're starting to bring in the podiums there, Farmer?
Well, it was a good race by everyone. I'm a little emo as always, but it was a crazy qualifying. I was distracted. Obviously, the changes with the weather, because obviously I've been practicing just in sunny, clear.
Yeah.
So when it was overcast and dark, it kind of spooked me a little.
Uh-huh.
But it was a crazy qualifying. I knew I couldn't beat the new guy crazy fast. I think Jay Vrooman in the AMG, and Artem for sure, and then Xander and even I forget his name. You always forget his name. He's in the BMW, but everyone was really great qualifying all the way from top all the way to the bottom. I could see all the times everyone was fighting like crazy. Then I actually put together a lap, and it saved my race, because if I wouldn't have got that shock P2, then the race would have been a disaster. Xander was faster than me. Artem, I guess, was faster than me towards the end. Vrooman was probably like more than or probably a second faster than me, because I was really distracted in the whole race. And then obviously Hasselbrock. But yeah, I got a good start. Then I was just like, let's just follow Hasselbrock, try to learn a bit from him through some of the corners. I learned 2 or 3 things just from following him in the first lap, and then he was gone. And then I had really good rhythm, and then it would come back. Didn't have one invalidated lap, so I was super happy. But yeah, Xander was going to catch me for sure, but I think I threw him off a little with because I had like a bad sector 1. Like I still did it, but it was sloppy, and I think he followed me in a way, like into maybe a small mistake, because I think I just threw him off because I looked so sloppy out there. And then Vrooman was coming like a madman at the end, and I was for sure thought he was going to close. I had some problems with the blue flags. I get super emotional because we drive really fast in queue and then race, and then if something happens at the 58th minute, then obviously it's a disaster. But nothing happened, so I'm gonna shut up. And yeah, it was just a crazy race, and I was basically lucky. Like my race was the qualifying, and so I only had to drive my race, but my race was in the qualifying, and just really super happy. Everyone's super clean into turn 1. Yeah, mega happy to get a podium. I thought I was up first because I didn't know I got second. I thought it was third again.
Well, congratulations on your second podium towards the second half of the season. But we'll definitely be interested.
Oh yes, yes. I will work really hard because these are two tracks by far our worst tracks. I may even sit out the last one. So, like again, just latch on to the fast guys. Try to learn a few things. Try to get a lucky cue, and then just try to just cruise during the race. Sorry, I forgot about that question there.
No, it's fine.
But thank you.
Yeah. But no,
and congratulations to the other podium finishers.
But yeah, no, it'd definitely be interesting to see how you perform at Kyalami, and if whether or not you're going to be showing up at Bathurst. We'd always love to see all our drivers show up for a race, even though how technical and difficult it is, but that's okay. Now we're going to be jumping towards our race winner, Aiden Hasbrock. You weren't there last week at Monza. Competition has showed up, but you managed to slide out a pole position towards the end and managed to pull off a commanding win here at Suzuka. The question is can you keep this up for the remainder of the season? Because it seems like these drivers are really getting the edge, but it just seems like you somehow find that little bit of extra grip to put you up there on that pole position.
Yeah, it went good. I think my quali was pretty good, but then in the race, for whatever reason, I just pull away. Nothing really to say about it. Looking forward to Kyalami. Maybe I can win the championship there. I'm not sure what it's looking like in the champion, but yeah.
Well, again, congratulations on your win at Suzuka. I want to say a huge congratulations to all the drivers that participated and that came out to race. Super clean racing, aside from a few of the little incidences that were in there. But other than that, I mean, what a beautiful run. All the drivers, freight training from the start to the finish. We also have a huge shout out for Farmer here in the chat that your friend Ember says, yeah, Farmer, let's go. Huge shout out to you, Farmer, as well, and huge shout out to you, Ember, for joining us at GT Meister Racing and watching the races as well. So I'm going to be calling it that's it. But check us out next weekend as we take the battle to the South Africa at Kyalami. The question is how is the weather going to develop, and is it going to push these drivers to the limit? We saw what happened at Suzuka with the weird forecast, where it's a little bit overcast and the track wasn't fully growing in there. But then come race time and a few laps in, everything became optimum. The sun came up and the drivers started to race at the top. Huge shout out to everybody that participated. I'm your host, Axia. We'll see you next week at Kyalami.